So, hello boys and girls. We are about to play some Voltaic daily improvement method again. And a little bit of history to it. A friend of mine actually poked me towards the Voltaic community, and he said if I really want to get better at aiming, I should try their routines. So yeah, he's just sent me a playlist. I played through it, and I was immediately hooked, to be honest. I loved the way these playlists and these routines, especially with the information that you can get from this community, actually works. So yeah, I just jumped on it and never looked back. It's one of those routines that you try to get into, try to do every day, and you usually see some weekly or mostly bi-weekly improvements. And even on a week where the improvement just doesn't really come in terms of, yeah, you know, cracking your high score, you still feel some kind of accomplished when you've done them. Also, it really trains your aim. But for me personally, it's not about just getting my A game up there and running, but mostly just to keep the C and the D and the E and the F game as close together as possible, if you know what I mean. Meaning, don't be too bad, you know. So we got Tuesday. Tuesday usually means that the easy part, the standard clicking, is already done. Those playlists are made by a guy called LowGravity56. He also has a YouTube channel, I guess, where he explains a little bit more about the theory behind aiming. And yeah, it's actually great stuff. You can find many useful informations on there that you can directly apply to your game, to your aim training, and, you know, to your mouse control in general. So yeah, I think I rambled enough. Just let's get this started. We need, for me personally, I'm gold complete. We need clicking to medium, and we just hope that the playlist starts at some point. I honestly do not really know what causes it to glitch sometimes. Sometimes it just goes down and yeah, it just doesn't start. In the worst of the circumstances, I just alt F4 this and try to restart it, and it will probably work at some point. Well, you can see my desktop here. It's nothing to write home about. Everything interesting is down here in the corner. Yeah, especially emblems. So, does there have to be cloud synchronization? So, whatever happens, our path is pretty clear. Even if stuff goes wrong, we will manage. I will try to start it again, and if it doesn't work, I'll just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what causes it to not run. Maybe it is OBS running in the background. I can't tell. What I actually can tell is that the game often just tries to synchronize the cloud and it doesn't really work for some odd reason. Something went wrong, apparently. But we'll try it again. We got time. Ah, it's starting. Which is a good sign. It kind of feels interesting, just sitting here and talking to basically nobody, because I don't really promote the stream, and it's mostly for me to keep my wards, but still, let's just try to keep our heads up. Let's go through the playlist of the day just to get warm. Let's see if that starts. That starts without a problem. Let's see. Warm wall, 4 targets, clusters. Let's play through this. Just to get a feeling. Oh, I can feel a sharp delay in my inputs actually. But we'll manage. It will simply be hard mode. I probably just need to focus a little bit more. So probably it's pretty good that we are starting with the playlist of the day. Because as you can see, my score is just taking a nosedive whenever I'm recording or streaming or stuff like that. So, next task, line and trace ultimate. I don't know if one is supposed to track the line actually, or just to kill as many targets as possible. My aim is shaky as hell today, and I'm over flicking like crazy. And on this task, somewhere around the mid-through, I just recognize, hey, it's actually spider shot. Almost feels like I'm missing some frames. Can't hit my shots today. Doesn't look that bad. Do I have performance anxiety? Maybe. Why is it giving me the same path 3 times around, and I'm doing worse every time I do it? Oh well, can't be changed. So, RA mini shot. Static. Wasn't it the same as the first one? What was the first one for? Task? I don't know anymore. The point where this task basically just becomes a circle. I love it. Ha! Voltaic! This was one of my first favorite tasks. I'm still not good at it, but I loved it. I'm doing so many flick arrows right now because I know that these bots won't shoot back. So I'm just going over and checking corner, which is not good. You usually should like that. You should stay on target. Just stop when you see a target and go back. But for some reason my brain can't process it 100%. And I'm flicking using so many motions. Jesus. You know, guys, the first thing to do to get better is actually to realize what's your problem. And I'm realizing all my problems. I'm just not good enough yet. So I have to practice. And as you guys can see, my click timing is sometimes way off, which costs me so many kills sometimes. Sometimes the most basic tasks are the hardest. Are a head click. Oh, they move. They actually move. I'm waiting. Jesus. I could have flicked 5 targets in the meantime. One thing I should realize is that I'm missing long as I'm getting close to walls and I'm not taking the optimal path. Yeah, I probably just need to relax more. When I don't think about it, I actually hit the targets. When I think about it, I don't hit. Again, a nosedive. I should stop recording. No, but we'll push through it. Oh, slow pass through. Alright, we're through with the playlist of today. Now we will hopefully migrate, or be able to migrate to clicking. Yeah. It works! It actually works. I am happy right now. I need to relax. Oh, dynamic clicking is really something hard for me. And today in particular, for some reason. But we'll power through it, I promise. Ah. You know, guys, frustration causes stress, and stress causes adaptation. So we'll just continue with it. No, guys, sometimes I got the feeling that some of those great aimers like Maddie or Whiskers or any one of those guys sees my videos or my streams and looks at the tasks that I do and how I do them, and they say to themselves, how the fuck did this guy even get out of iron?
Oh well, with a little bit more focus it actually feels better, but still, I mean, scores are far away from where I want it to be.
absolutely do not feel on point today. But, you know guys, when you have a bad day, especially when you try to relax and play video games, just think to yourselves, what do I want to achieve with what I'm doing? So right now I'm playing an aim trainer, meaning I want to get better at controlling a mouse, more or less, and getting better at aiming with the peripherals of a monitor, a mouse, and a mousepad. So even if I have a bad day, I always repeat in my mind that it's worth the grind. You know, the more that I grind, the better I get. Even if I have some bad days, my brain still adapts and learns from it. And that's probably what keeps me doing stuff like that. And it actually works. I mean, I can feel that it works in my games. So yeah, just up for that. Ah, well, concentration is already starting to fade, but we'll push through. Even though, you know, my scores just went down drain for some odd reason. Yeah, today is not my day, but we'll push on. I don't know if it's kind of obvious, but for some of those tasks I have actually no clue how to play them correctly. So yeah, maybe when someone can help, I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, until then, I guess you're watching the life of a gold player, not knowing 100% what he's doing, but still doing his best. Or at least trying to. Whew. Well, the task is actually pretty draining, but scores don't look that bad, to be honest. Ah, okay. Okay, that was kinda unintended. Anybody ever sees this and thinks to himself, that guy is really bad, he's probably right. But hey, in terms of hours on aim trainers, I'm actually pretty low compared to a lot of people. And I just try to do my best, to be honest. And I'm usually pretty persistent in my craft, so I'll just carry on, no matter what happens.
Well, I have no idea how I did that, but apparently I got a new record on a just shot. Interesting.
one thing that's really important on such long sessions is to keep your hands mobile. Jesus. When you grip a mouse, and you know, I'm not hitting very well today, and sometimes your body automatically wants to compensate with grip, you know, like just tensing up the muscles, and you actually don't want it. You want to be fluid in your motions and control whatever pressure you put on your mouse. So right now I'm not very good at it, I guess. Well, I have no idea how we did that, but we actually did it. Well, new record number 3. Guess that works for us. Somewhere I heard that those tasks are deliberately frustrating. But I mean, I personally don't really mind it. But I can see some people just saying, I'm not going to do this bullshit. I gotta say though, it sticks. Meaning, when you can translate the training to your actual games, the precision alone that you sometimes need is something very, very valuable. And another record for some odd reason. Let's see if we can replicate it on Frogshot. Well, again, we apparently went from playing like someone that never took a mouse and shot some dots to, yeah, just acceptable level, maybe. One last time. Oh. After all that, let's see, maybe we can actually look at the Voltaic app and see where we are. We did some new high scores today, actually. I mean, just so we clarify. This is the veteran benchmark, which is still in season 1. I don't know, maybe there is a new one. There I am at platinum, actually, which is probably not bad. I'm able to hit body shots. In season 2, I actually managed to get almost everything up to gold, and on the intermediate, yeah, I'm a little bit further away from platinum that I want to be. And now on season 3, as you guys can see, I got my gold ranking and I'm 28 points above the limit. And on the intermediate, I'm still working on it. But as you guys can see, we actually got a platinum score on Floodshot. Let's see where Frogshot actually is. Frogshot is on 4 or 5. It was the last task. I still need to squeeze out 75 points for just platinum. Meaning, those tasks that we played are very draining. I did not really hit very much. To be honest, I'm not that good at it right now. But we are still doing progress, and I think a lot of thought actually went into making those tiers, and at least in my opinion, they reflect your skills in aim labs and Kovacs pretty good. At least it's my personal belief, and I also feel like while playing in between iron, bronze, silver, and gold, my aim actually went up. It felt pretty good. I mean, I still would have to find a task with that linear progression. Maybe it's just a, you know, just going a downward spiral. But when we look at season 2 in the novice ranks, I think it's a clear progression, actually. At least in the averages. I mean, let's look at something that I'm not good at. Let's look at, I don't know, Sky Switch maybe. Yeah, on Sky Switch I did not play the task very often. So I'm pretty down, actually. I didn't play much. I really did not play much Sky Switch. Let's see where I'm also bad. Multishot 90. Let's see if that's the same. Yeah, it's the same progression. And that's usually the progression that you get. You get better the more you play. Okay, so who's up for some maybe Counter-Strike training? Thing is, oh, we did actually 5 new high scores. Frogshot hard, Frogshot 2 targets, Frogshot clusters, and adjust shot. Okay, interesting. So now let's see how long does it take to actually start it. Because Cloud is probably still synchronizing, and we usually have to wait for that. And yeah, this takes quite a bit of time. But well, I promise you, trust me, at some point it will start. Ah, it's starting now. Okay. For practice routine after playing about 1.5 hours of aim labs, we will probably do some spray training, just some minutes, some aimbots, so we get used to shoot actual targets, and then maybe go on some deathmatch and call it a day. Yeah, my client is German actually. My mother tongue is German. So yeah, you'll see a lot of German on here. I usually play with the same sensitivity on aim labs as on here, which is around 45 centimeters, or 47 centimeters. And I usually start just, you know, doing standard spray pattern stuff, trying it off, keeping the line as my main target actually. And usually I mainly practice with an AK, getting some, you know, some bursts in. Oh, the nice thing is you also have a nice piece of a player model here. The good thing is you can actually see the spread very well. When I do a spray from back here with the same control, you see how far the bullets go apart. So playing on longer distances, it's actually recommended to go like this, trying to keep the head, but I personally think it's way smarter to not go for just the tip of the head, but rather go for the chin and the neck actually. Because when I hold for the head and I spray like that, the bullets will actually fly over. Instead, when I go on the neck, I still got the chance of hitting a headshot, but the second and third bullet are going over and hitting the head actually. So it's something that you usually don't do very consciously, outside of practice at least. So yeah, that should probably be enough. Maybe you know, pick an M4, do the same here, do the same a little bit outside. Try to keep bullets tight, even if the M4 is actually, I think, because we didn't, I mean, I mean most Counter-Strike players don't practice that much on that weapon compared to the AK. It's much harder to get an accurate spray control in. But since the weapon is actually more accurate, it balances out. Also, it's one of those things where it feels like the recoil is not as consistent with an AK, but that could be just down to the amount of practice that you do. Okay, that should be it for that. Let's go for some inbots. Really nothing special, just, you know, clicking some heads. I usually set it like that, start with some head clicks, just to get a feeling for
shooting at actual enemy players, some counter strafing with Deagle maybe. Just turning around, shooting a little bit, trying to get a little bit faster, trying to get some feeling for counter strafes when you can do that without stopping. Then just turn it like that, so you get a range of targets, going through them, just getting used to shooting at head level. Doesn't matter if you hit or miss at first. If you want to go deliberate, just go slow, do some micro adjustments, but try to keep them fluid. And one thing that I noticed, especially when practicing, is that the amount of overflicks one does. Like when I go over to this spot, I go over and flick back. That's not the right thing to do. The right thing would be to go over like that. Just go over. And if I'm not 100% on target and I'm here, micro correct to that. That's an actual micro correction. Maybe from here to here can be called a micro correction. Everything else I personally would consider a flick actually, which comes from a completely different part from the arm, not from the wrist. And yeah, that's how I should practice actually. Not over flicking, just going from target to target, under flicking, 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 under flicking. That teaches you to keep one smooth motion when you go from target to target to target. Also with a higher degree of practice, you will notice that the focus of your eyes actually switches more and more to the focus of the target. I mean, I personally am by far not good enough to make general statements about it, but it feels to me as if that transition, the more you practice, comes more and more into play. I mean, I put around 2,000 hours in Counter-Strike 1.6, about 2,000 hours in, no, let's say 1,000 hours in CSGO, and right now I'm probably sitting at around 2,200 hours total in CSGO and CS2. Meaning I'm not that far, but I'm actually playing this game for a pretty long time and part of my life. And yeah, the friends I made along the way stayed actually. I'm still playing with the same group of people. I mean, we never went anywhere, and yeah, it was mostly just for fun. Okay, I think I'm used to shooting the spots now. Let's go on some deathmatch servers, and for that I usually use Prec. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. It's a website called prec.com. They got multiple deathmatch servers, and yeah, you can join them free if there's a slot, but if you have premium you can join anytime usually. And yes, I practice usually with sound off and just something random playing in the background. Today I think we'll go for head sprays when I find an enemy that doesn't shoot me in the back. But that's actually the reason for training. Going through targets, just practicing what you want to practice. And keeping the flow in, you know, it doesn't really matter if you get killed. It doesn't really matter if you die in a stupid way. Just try to do your best and don't think about it. I mean, it is kind of hard when you start missing, to be honest. Oh. But there's also no law in it, meaning even if you want to, you can, for example, take an angle here, look down here, look to the left, there's one spawned, one on the back. You know, you get some routine in where people can actually spawn, and then it's just down to reactions and aim. And it actually helps you recognize enemies. And one thing that you can definitely learn is to pace your emotions, to try things out, and not always, you know, just crouch down and spray, but, you know, stay standing, shoot. Don't use your crouch key. Then, oh, that was bad. Then, if you're a little bit more into it, you can start to tap it actually and move a little bit, because when you start tapping, your accuracy changes completely. But it's usually like that. Just go for peaks and angles, go for duels. If you get surprised, the better. Then you have a disadvantage, you can learn more out of it. If you get a long duel like this, or if you miss your first shots, try to learn from it. Try to go out of your way and do better next time, like so. I mean, I don't know if that's a fair comparison, to be honest, because one type is moving, almost standing. Actually, some aren't shooting back, but still always try to keep good practice. Try to train your crosshair placement, try to train on timings when people peek, and yeah, just practice. From after some time it will actually get easier. I know for years I was on those deathmatch servers and just died over and over. But to be honest, something that I found out was most of the players that are actually on deathmatch servers are on there for a reason. Meaning they still have to get better. You're not playing against perfect people. And if those not perfect are still able to, you know, crush you, then you know you have some work to do. And one of those things is actually playing deathmatch. I mean, at least for me. I know there are some people that just don't play deathmatch. They're more than reasonably fine just, you know, practicing on Faceit itself. But I think just to keep your skill level up when you don't have time to actually play or to do aim training or stuff like that, it's a very, very valuable tool. It actually helps you. Like I said, we won't go for too long. Maybe take the M4 for a swing. Yeah, let's do that actually. It's gonna be harder because it's not a one-shot headshot. But still, you can do a lot with it, simply because the spread is much more tightly and the fire rate is also very, very high. That took quite that took quite some time. And one big thing is also visualizing. When you can visualize where your enemy is, it becomes a lot easier. I didn't know that one survived. And you always peek with intention. You know, when I'm peeking the corner, I'm expecting someone to be around here. When I peek that, I'm suspecting someone to come out. That's how you learn to clear corners, because behind every corner someone can actually sit and wait. Reloading at the absolute wrong time. Still hitting the head. I mean, my aiming style is probably, I don't know, pretty bad, but it's enough for me. It's enough to have fun, and having fun in a competitive game like Counter-Strike is something that very few people actually have. It's almost a luxury. Woo! Oh, killed it there. And yeah, I'm going back and forth some corners. Because I'm actually not happy with my sprays right now. Especially on moving targets. And my peripheral vision, meaning everything outside my limited tunnel vision, actually feels pretty blurry, to be honest. And I'm also most of the time taking into account how the weapon actually fires, meaning it's still going down to the right and then to the left. One thing that you see me do from the old days is actually weapon swapping when I'm hit and I know that I just go behind the corner. Because your running speed with a deagle is a lot higher than your running speed with a rifle, actually. But that difference is not that noticeable in CS2, but it was very noticeable in CSGO actually. So, but I think that should be enough for today. I always keep it to some miniature sessions of 15 minutes, and that should be enough.
Okay, that's probably all for it.
Maybe I play some Gunfire Reborn later. Then I could maybe stream a little bit. But for now, I'll call it a day. Have a nice evening.